I know I'm standing between us and lunch, but before that, it was a short presentation by Mr. Pankaj Bhutani, Joint Advisor, Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board, on regulating petroleum and natural gas PSU market with innovative policies to make them globally competitive. I request Mr. Bhutani to come on stage. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Okay. Yeah, very good afternoon to all of you. I know the time which has been allotted to me is just before the lunch, and I'm coming in the way of you people and your lunch. So I'll be very quick. In fact, Shivani has also told me that she has reduced my time to just half, that is just 7 minutes. So I'll try to do justice with that. Though, I mean, it's a different platform I'm speaking at. But let me assure you that the takeaway from this would be something innovative, what we have done. And there is a huge lot of opportunities in oil and gas sector also, so far as technology is concerned. So with this, I'll start my presentation. So I come from a regulatory body in the oil and gas sector, which is Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. So this was formed under the PNGRB Act 2006 and notified in 2006. So basically, our role is to regulate the oil and gas sector, especially on the infrastructure side. Infrastructure side means the pipelines, the petroleum product pipelines, the natural gas pipelines, and the city gas distribution networks across the country. So the next is the current focus of PNGRB is on the natural gas, which is aligned with the government vision. Government of India wants that the share of natural gas should go up to 15% by 2030, and that's why we are also aligned with the government vision to do so. And our current focus is increase the natural gas. As you all know that the country faces a lot of pollution problem, especially in the big cities like Delhi, Bombay, etc. So, and to develop the natural gas market or to increase its consumption, there is a huge infrastructure requirement in the country. So that is where our major focus is. And once we do that, it is necessary that the market we develop, so it should be a transparent natural gas market in the country, both long-term as well as short-term gas markets. And while doing so, it is important that there is a balance, we strike out a balance between the producers, consumers, as well as the transporters who deal with the natural gas. So, if we look at the global averages in the energy consumption basket, it's around 24-25%, whereas India is just at 6 to 7%. So, there is a huge potential. Having realized this huge potential and with the government vision to take it to 15% in the consumption basket, so in the 3 to 4 years from 2018 to 2021, we have covered almost 78% of the country's population as well as the area by authorizing 200 geographical areas. So prior to that, it was just 10% of the country areas and 20% catering to 20% of the population. So this is the CGD business I am talking about. So you can see the exponential growth from 2018 till 2021. So there are almost 300 geographical areas in the country. For example, Delhi is one geographical area. So like that, there are 300. So you can imagine, how much scope or opportunities, even from the technology side, even from the digital side, will be there in these kind of companies who are operating in these geographical areas. So, unlike oil, which can be transported in the tankers, pipelines, or through road tankers, natural gas is a distinct product which can, by and large, be transported through the transmission pipelines. So, transmission pipelines as such are the backbone of the country. So, a lot of reforms were required. If we have to increase the share of natural gas consumption in the country, both at the city levels or the geographical areas level, and to support that at the backbone level, which is the transmission pipelines. So today we have around 3,500 kilometers of pipeline network which has been authorized by the PNGRB. Out of that 33,500, 22,500 kilometers are presently operational in the country across different parts. And even out of this 22,500, 90,500, which constitute around 93% of the total network, operational network, as integrated network, in the sense they are connected with each other. So this is not visible, some chair is coming. So if you look at this map, this talks about the entire gas infrastructure in the country. The black lines, you can see the lines, this connect the entire country from north to west, west to south, and south, and again from west to east. So as far as the pipelines is concerned, it is scattering to the entire country. And the different colors, what you're seeing, this is nothing but the geographical areas for the city gas distributions which have been awarded mainly particularly in the 3 years from 2018 till 2021. The green ones, which is a very minuscule part of the entire map, was geographical areas which came before 2018. And rest of the entire country has been covered in just 3 years. So with this, you can imagine, how much work it would have involved covering the entire country with a 1.4 billion population. So, if when we move from a developing to developed market, it is necessary that there is a lot of liquidity in the market. The prices are discovered in a transparent manner, and there is a short-term market available to the players who can dispose of or who can buy from that market to meet their requirements. So basically, natural gas caters to mainly the fertilizer sector, followed by now city gas distribution, power, then industrial products, refineries, etc. So the next kind of growth that will be coming for the natural gas will be occupied by the CGD, the city gas distribution. That is why our focus is mainly on that area. And then coming to the short-term markets, as I said, so PNGRB, knowing the fact that to develop that market, it is important that there should be regulations prevailing in the country to cater to these kind of requirements. So with this, for this, we came out with the regulations in September 2020, which are known as gas exchange regulations. And immediately after that, in just 2 months, the first gas exchange was authorized in the country in the name of IGX. And this gas exchange primarily deals with the physical delivery of natural gas for the short-term requirements. And in just 2 years, if you see, there has been a growth of around 319% in 2023 over the previous financial year. So massive response has been received for this gas exchange. Then, of course, today, since India is the largest and the fastest growing economy in the world, so we as regulators cannot afford to be just as regulators. We have to play a role of the facilitators. So not only in the CGD, but any sector, our job is now, how we can solve the problems, not only for those who are serving this sector, but for the customers who are using this sector. So as by and large, now we, actively play as a role of facilitators. Those who are from oil and gas sector, maybe they can vouch for it, that what PNGRB as a regulator role is playing, whether should we call them as regulators or as facilitators. So I'll skip this slide, as I said, because my time is very short. Now, this is the major regulation where I wanted to spend some time. If you travel by road, you would be paying road tax in the form of tolls when you're traveling from one part of the country to another. So there'll be a lot of toll tax, and those get added up to your overall cost. So, once we have started developing and authorizing this CGD network, So it was important that the gas should reach to the far-flung areas in an affordable manner. So, and the gas can mainly be reached through the pipelines. So those, of course, near to the source or the lines which are older in nature, those customers will be paying a lower tariff today as compared to those in the far-flung areas. For example, those consumers who are in the northern region or in the northeast region or in the far east region. So it was important that natural gas should reach them in an affordable manner. I mean, had it been additive tariffs, if there were around 20 pipelines in the country, if those were to pay additive tariff to make the gas reach in the northeast, so they had to travel using 4 5 pipelines. So that would have costed them $8 or $9 for the transportation cost. So PNGRB was thinking that why not to come out with some regulation wherein we can do and simplify and make it affordable for the customers in a way that, I mean, if there is one entity owning multiple pipelines, it should have one single tariff rather than multiple tariffs. And the second mantra was one nation, one tariff for and one grid. So that was another mantra, but it was sort of non-starter, given that the complexities those were involved. For example, the contra- contractual issues, tax issues, confidentiality issues, software issues. So there were a lot of complexities, confronting us. That is why we were not able to, implement this regulation. However, I mean, we took it as a challenge as to how we can go about it, because it was need of an hour. That we have already authorized so many geographical areas, even in the far east of the country or in the far northern areas of the country. So, what will happen to those investments which we have already authorized? So basically, one idea, I mean, one innovation, I would say, in your terminology, that helped us. That let us look at a regulation in the way that there are no interferences as far as contractual relations are concerned between the customers and different entities. There are no tax issues involved, and the entities which are entitled to their revenue, they should get the same, and at the same time gas becomes affordable for those who are sitting in the far flung areas, and at the same time not impacting the customers who are sitting near to the source. So it's quite a challenging, I mean, though while talking it looks very simple as far as implementation. So what we did is we simply took the, in simplistic terms, we took the volume flows of different entities multiplied by their tariffs for which they are entitled, and based on that we arrived at a weighted average tariff. But now the challenge was who will bill those customers. So only as per the regulation, I mean, the initially it was thought that the entity which is sitting at the exit point, I mean, the point from where the consumer is taking the gas, whether he is having a multiple relationship with multiple entities, that entity will only bill that particular consumer. Means there will be interferences in the contracts. So this was the biggest challenge before us. Then what we saw that, I mean, it is only 25-30% of the volumes which are traveling across, okay, the multiple pipelines, and 75% of the volumes was traveling within one entity's network. So we developed certain ratios in which the customers will be billed in a way that they will not be interfering in the contracts of the customers, and every entity will remain independent, and at finally the entities, they are entitled to their revenue, will get the same. At the same time gas will become affordable as far as transportation cost is concerned. So this was implemented with this small innovation. I mean, we could implement this. The way today transportation sector works, natural gas pipeline transportation works, has entirely changed from 1st April 2023. And this was the biggest achievement, or the master stroke of PNGRB as a regulator. And country has been divided into 3 zones. I'll not get into nitty-gritties. I think I'll bore you with this. Already I've been warned for 1 minute. So none other than Prime Minister has tweeted on this regulation implementation, and it is already being followed in the country from 1st April 2023. So this, whenever I mean, look back this as a challenge, how challenging it was to implement this, it always reminds me an old ad, an idea can change your life, Sergi. So I can only say by towards the end that be innovative. A small change collectively can make a larger difference for the companies, your workspace, country at large, and of course the mankind. Thank you very much. I hope I have completed within the given time. Thank you.
Thanks. And maybe that idea, though the company doesn't exist anymore, they might ask for a copyright. Okay, before we break for lunch, may I request Mr. Sanjay Das to come and hand over a token of appreciation to Mr. Bhutani? Can we have the...
Yeah, and let me say that there are huge opportunities as far as IT is concerned in this sector.
Thanks a lot.